What's up guys, Bomboy here, and welcome to another episode in, still to be retitled. But yeah, so we're doing a couple of raids here, and I can assure you that this isn't going to be the focus of the video this time. So yeah, you won't be seeing 30 loots of nothing, basically, and then one good item. But what that does mean is that I've gone back to grinding, and so what's been happening is in these masses and like raiding with a vast array of like different people, Dark Relic and Torn Prayer Scroll by the way, I realised that the points that I was getting were kind of subpar. So although that is to do with things that I can't necessarily help, like the Twisted Bow and Dexterous Prayer Scroll, there are some things that I can do to improve my situation. So one of them being that for mass raids I wanted Dragon Javelin so that I could use my Ballista in order to try and get more points in the Mystic Room and also help for Shamans. But here's another raid that we did, number 127. Somebody got an Arcane Prayer Scroll, and yeah, so that's another one seen but not owned. And we get some junk, but that will come in handy for the later part of the video. So yeah, we wanted to get the Dragon Javelins, and also I was kind of feeling like I might have enough herbs for 90 herb lore, and being able to make that overload would be massively helpful for this final phase. So here we go, another raid, and somebody got a Din's Bulwark. That's like the third or fourth I've seen on this account. I would actually quite like a Din's Bulwark. I know a lot of people aren't very excited by them, but the ability to tank is kind of unrivaled, obviously. And then this is raid number 130, so that's where I kind of left it. We got a Dark Relic. I thought I'd just show you those. They always go on herb lore, and you will see why that's kind of important in just a second. So we've been using those to get close to kind of 87, I believe. But yeah, we've got a bit of grinding to go. So that's what these 2 weeks have now been dedicated to. Another thing that I wanted to have a cheeky little stab at was getting a dragon pickaxe. And honestly, Chaos Elemental felt like one of the creatures where I'd get bothered the least. Little did I know how ridiculously long it takes to kill. I watched the guides, but flinching it is just there's no point. So I didn't get any good loot. I didn't get lucky. I didn't get the pet. And after 9 kills, I believe, PKers came and got me. And yeah, I just didn't want to go back after that. So I will be going back to Venenatis or something like that in order to try and get this dragon pickaxe, but it won't be Chaos Elemental. So these were really short little bits of me attempting to try and get something, but no luck. So another thing that I'm kind of hopefully trying to get is the dragon limbs to make the dragon crossbow. So that would be really helpful, because then I could use the dragon the dragon bolts, the new ones. And then I wouldn't have to use the ballista actually in raid, so that would be really nice. It's a 1 in 500 drop from these guys, so it was a bit of wishful thinking, but I think like 5 or 6 trips before somebody called me out for some raids, and nothing came of it. So I might actually go back to this week after uploading this video, perhaps. I'm quite keen to get some of those items. And these are nice and AFK as well, so it's cool to do. Plus you get the Dragon Javelin heads, which I'm going to need more of, arrowheads, all that kind of thing. Fantastic thing to kill, to be honest. So I will be going back to these. So I got called away for a raid, a couple of raids in fact, and this is number 132. And the only reason I'm going to put it in is because we got an elite. So later on in the video, you will see the loot from that. That's something to look forward to. I actually do easy, medium, hard, and elite all in one. Okay, so you may wonder why I'm at Koresh, and it seems like a highly inefficient thing for me to be doing at this stage in the game, but as I said, 90 herb lore isn't that far away, and I think I've got the herbs banked from raids. So I'm at Koresh camping to try and get just about 900 whiteberries. The limpet roots actually will help too, and I do need the papayas and the coconuts for farming, so nothing hurts here. But in this clip, you can see at the top the orb for range is looking damn near full, and it's kind of a testament to how long I was grinding these Koresh out. But there we go, 99 range, finally. So that's maxed out. I'm quite happy to have that done. It's, I don't know, it's just one of those things. 99 range is so kind of staple. Yeah, I'm happy to have it done. But that means I was camping Koresh for, I think, a whole level, But here we go. So this is the last load of whiteberries to pick up, and this took me 2 days, and Koresh are actually quite nice to do on mobile as well, actually. So I was doing that a bit on my kind of lunch breaks and things like that, or on the train, to try and get a little bit more done, because I was pressed for time. I was trying to get 2 big goals out in this kind of 2-week session for you, because I didn't want to like dedicate a whole week to fletching and then a whole week to herblore. So you got kind of 2 convoluted mixed things here over these last 2 weeks. But yeah, we stocked up on a few seeds. It was quite a good grinding session, actually. This for 2 days, got quite a lot out of it. And that 2.7 mil cash, that's obviously all from the alcohols. I actually banked 600k before then, and there's other stuff that I'd already banked. So yeah, this was a lot of money, actually. And the nature runes, 4,600. That's, I was down to my last 400 or so. So that's wonderful. We're just back at the bank, and I have no idea how many Koresh I actually killed in this grind, but you can see there in my inventory, I have actually gone back and checked this, but there was 2 leaf-bladed swords, 5 leaf-bladed battle axes, and 4 Koresh heads in, you know, like a couple of thousand. And also you can just see at the top there, I'm 6 mil off a 1 bill bank. So that's pretty exciting. So here we are, we're just going to pick up our ranging cape. I didn't want to leave Koresh, so because I was grinding obviously, so we've just picked up a cape now. And this used to be one of the best in slots for doing DKs because of the defensive stats and the prayer bonus, whilst also working as an Avers. But now there's been Vorkath head added, it probably isn't. I'd actually rather keep the ammo. So it has a lot less uses than it used to, but nevertheless, it's still a very good looking cape, and the emote's kind of nice, and I haven't done that for years, so yeah. Another one done. Now, you may wonder why I'm showing you Manage Thy Kingdom. It's very mundane, I know, but normally I get my teak planks, and well, teak logs I should say, from this, and some herbs. This week I've got to change it so that I get maple logs. So I was going to try and like collect or cut 17,000 magic logs to try and get my fletching up. But I worked out that it would be much quicker and easier if I just, you know, manned up and spent the money and just did the headless arrows into like broad arrows. And yeah, so that's what I decided to do. And at first I was cutting the maple logs, but then I did the maths on it and I realised I needed about 360,000 headless arrows. And maple logs go, if you cut 1 into arrow shafts, it turns into 60. So I only needed about 6,000, which is 1 week of MTK. So for 1 week, I got maple logs. And we cut them all into like headless arrow shafts. And then obviously I didn't realise, well, I mean I did realise, but I didn't bother calculating how much XP I would get from making those. So I made about 600k XP on the kind of headless arrows and then attaching the feathers to them. It was something I've not actually done before. On RS3, you know, before it became EOC, whatever, I did actually do this on a double XP weekend, but obviously I was a main and I just bought everything. So yeah, to actually have to go through the prep and suddenly realise how long this prep actually takes was a bit of a shock. But yeah, there's 360k of them done, and now we've got to go and buy the 360k feathers to put on them. But obviously we've gained XP, so the number then went down to 291,000 after doing all the flighting of the arrows and stuff like that. So I only had to make 290,000 broad arrows in the end, which was quite a relief to, you know, save 70,000 broad arrows. That's quite a lot of money as well, bear in mind. Okay, so we bought the feathers, and now we're attaching feathers to arrows, basically. And so that's 86 fletching coming in, and that's the only one that I got through actually attaching the feathers. But then we move on to attaching the arrowheads, and we've got 87 very quickly. The XP is obviously 10 times as fast, which is the nice bit to see. There's 88 fletching, 89 fletching, 90, which is a nice one because we can make dragon arrows, and what is it? It's just dragon arrows. So I did attach all my dragon arrowheads to these headless arrows that I've made, ready for when I get a T-bow, if I get a T-bow. Somehow I missed level 91, but there's 92, and we can now make dragon javelins and like redwood magic shields, whatever. I'm never going to make those. Whilst I've been doing this, you could see I was standing near the herb patches, and I've done so much of that I have managed to get close to 86 farming. So just before work one morning, I went and checked that tree to get the level. here's the clues that I was talking about. So this is the easy. We got iron T legs, which is unique, but it's, you know, nowhere near completing the set. I had the skirt before, but yeah. So, and then from the hard, we actually get a master clue. That was the best thing out of this whole opening, I would say. And then the elite was, you know, runes, alcohols, that kind of thing. Very, very substandard. So the master clue actually leads me to do this clue at the top of the watchtower, and it required the dragon chain, dragon skirt, and the bull roarer, which I didn't remember to keep the bull roarer, so I had to go on the mission to cook the only bird and then trade that with a forester for that. But sadly, I can't do that master clue, so it got dropped. Now here's 88 herblore coming in. We're starting to like actually put the pots together, and yeah, it's quite a rewarding feeling considering how long this has taken to put these all together. There's 89, and you know, we're starting to kind of run out of herbs here, but luckily I have been farming herbs the entire time I was doing the fletching, and whilst I'm kind of making these pots, I was like farming herbs that wouldn't require too much gathering of secondaries. So it was mainly toadstools and toadflax, which obviously had a lot of birds' nests saved up from mole like months and months ago. But there's 90 herblore, and that finally means we can make overloads in raids, and we can also make super combat potions without having to boost. So I've got a lot of those ready to make up, like just about 900, which I think is going to last me a very, very long time. So I think I will be PVMing with 2 extra food from now on, which I'm quite pleased about. And then anyway, so this is the last of 4 raids that I've done today, I believe, since completing those 2 goals. And I think I'm a bit rusty. I haven't seen a huge jump in points, but yeah, no good loot either today. So this was probably the most interesting of the 4 or 3 or whatever, but we've got up to 140 raids. And that's it for this week. So for next week, I'll be trying to grind out a couple more items to try and make my raids better, you know, again. So that's it for this week's video. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy it, and if you've made it this far, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps massively. And if you aren't subscribed and you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. If there's something you didn't like, if you didn't enjoy the video, feel free to give me a thumbs down. Please let me know why, and I will seriously try to do my best to kind of change that. But anyway, that's it. So have a good time. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you on RuneScape. Take it easy. Peace.